As a court, please, my lord, we sorry for the late start. One of the accused number 4, was brought late from the correctional facility.
Yes. Still under oath, sir.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I just have 2 entries to refer the witness to. It's Exhibit UU1, which is the cell register for Foslorus Court for the 19th of June. The witness has already testified, my lord, regarding the occurrences of the 19th of June.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Sir, you remember yesterday you testified about your interaction with accused number 2 at Foslorus Magistrate Court.
Magistrate Court.
Okay.
That's correct, my lord.
You said what was when did you leave Foslorus Magistrate Court?
Magistrate Court.
When our shift ended, my lord.
To Mrs. Shais.
I mean the time.
She's current.
2 o'clock, my lord.
The horror speed in Dambam.
2 o'clock. Okay. Because according to this entry, for the 19th of June, my lord, it's entry for a serial number 271. The name is Ndanzi Bongan, and the offense is dealing in drugs. The case number is 534/6/20 from Pretoria North. Date of release 19 June, and the time of release is 13:30. Reason for release: not enrolled. Remarks under paragraph 16, released. Do you understand what I'm trying to read from this entry? It's that accused number 2 was released at 13:30.
Umsolo speeding ukhulule ngesikhathi kesika 1:30 emini umhla 19 kuJune.
Yes, my lord.
But you are saying at 2 o'clock when you left, you were still giving a backup for accused number 2.
Athi uma nisuka ke lapho benisiza umsolo speed ukuthi nimnike i-backup.
My lord, I mentioned that we were in the parking. The suspect went inside the magistrate court with Sergeant Mukhani. He was not accompanied by us. We were in the parking waiting until 2 o'clock to disperse.
When you left, you don't know where the accused number 2 was?
No, my lord. He went inside the magistrate's court.
Because ukuthi umsolo wangena Sergeant Mukhani thina samlinda le ngaphandle ubaze baphume.
And then from that entry when accused number 2 was released at 13:30, he is booked again midnight at 0040 at Pukeng Police Station. My lord, if I can just read the entry proper, it's Exhibit PP in brackets 1. Date 20 June. Thank you. I'll read it for the record. It's the occurrence book, my lord, for the Pukeng Police Station on the date of 20 June 22 as per serial number 713, time 0040. Suspect detained, Sergeant Mohane of National Cold Case Investigation, detained cell 2940620, Bongani Sandisontanzi on Pukeng, CAS 1180620, possession of live ammunition, notice of rights as per SAP 14, number 80947284, read and explained to the accused and understood and detained with no injuries. But the question that I want to ask you is that for the period from First Lawyers Court, which is 1330, up to this period, you said you did not provide any escort duties. Is that your evidence?
That's correct, my lord.
Atho uthi ke wena kusona ngo-1330 nisuka lapha eForsorus uyofika lesi sikhathi sika 0040 kusho ukuthi 40 minutes emuva ka-12 wasebusuku anizange nimpheleze nimsize ukuthi nim-escort umsolwa ngaleso sikhathi wathi cha.
But when you left, was there an exchange of shift within the metropolis? Are there any other metro police who came to give the escort to the SAPS when you...
Kwaba nabanye yini amaphoyisa asemetro afika athatha umsebenzi kinina naseke ninake nishiya bona emsebenzini ukuthi baqhubeke nge-escort?
No, my lord.
Cha.
Thank you, my lord. Just one more on the members of members of your unit. In all these three occurrences, which is the 19th, is the 24th, and is the and the 5th of June, when you provided services to the SAPS. It was only you and your crew members in all these three occasions, am I correct? Or you were changing?
We were changing, my lord.
Okay.
Athi umhla 1924 nomhla 5 kuJune kwakuyini kuphela yini enani phelezela abasola noma kukhona abanye ke nje ababe nabo babengena ke basiza senza ukuthi cha hayi sasi shiyelana nabanye.
But you were not changing. All these three you attended. In all these three occasions.
My lord, it is different dates, so it's not consecutive dates. So other occurring dates, well, let me make an example, my lord. If I appeared on the 5th, if I was present on the 5th of June, on the 6th of June, it means there was someone else, my lord.
And I can't ezehlukile lezi anginike indlela engayichaza ngayo ukuthi uma ukuthi bengisebenza umhla 5 June usho ukuthi wela ngelandalayo umhla 6 June usho ukuthi kwangemini.
Okay, let me just rephrase. Maybe you did not understand my question. You were a unit, am I correct?
That's correct.
Nani ithimba kunjalo athi yebo.
Of more than 4 members.
Labantu abangaphezulu kwabane.
That's correct, my lord.
Athi yebo kunjalo.
Okay. But in these 3 occasions when you gave a backup to the SAPS, it was only you and your colleagues only, not any other members.
And usikulezi ikhathe entathu uma nizoqhasa abesiphoyisa sase-South Africa usho ukuthi ke kwakuyinina ke nje ithimba lakho nje elali khona ngazo zonke lezi zikhathi.
It was members from our unit, my lord.
Hayi ababevela eqembini lami.
Okay. No. Thank you. Last one, my lord. You said your supervisor is still available, Mr. Singh. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord, but he was redeployed. He's at the equestrian unit.
Okay.
Athi hayi lo ayomkhuzi wami akasasebenzi nathi wasuswa lapho sisebenzela la kuthiwa equestrian unit.
Okay, can I ask you when you finish to give the details for Mr. Singh to the state advocate for Mr. Singh to be called? Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
In the re-examination.
As a court, please, my lord, we just want to make sure the court has got Exhibit UU1, the copy of the cell register from First Lotus Court. We handed it up on Friday together with the other exhibits. It's the 2 pages that have been stapled together. I think it will be at that will be the last page of the bundle that relates to accused 2. Be the last page of exhibit MM. There's MM, then yes, MM, then MM1 in brackets. Then attached to that will be the register. So it's 2 pages stapled together.
I don't seem to have it. Just make a copy for me. Okay, please.
Thank you.
Make a note. Exhibit UU1, no?
Yes. Now, Constable Jonathan, it was put to you by counsel for accused number 1 and 2 that both accused aver that there was a form of assault, tubing, and that you were present during those occasions. And various occasions were put to you where you would have been present, like at or near a garage in Alberton, where it was said that you pushed your front seat towards the back where the accused was sitting and pressed him hard, and that Sergeant Mabena was putting a plastic bag over his head, and that thereafter you proceeded to an area which it was said is a dumping site with steel tanks where you stopped, and that you took accused number 2 out of the vehicle, uncuffed one of his hands, and handcuffed him to a steel pole, and it was also put to you that there was another occasion where a device was used to electrocute accused number 2 on his stomach, and that during the process of using that device, a plastic was taken from his head, and that he started bleeding from his nose. And thereafter, it was put that the party proceeded to Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, and it was also put to you that from there they traveled to Orlando near disused ATMs, that you escorted them and the accused was poured with water, and it was during winter. Now, given all these allegations of assault, are you aware of the procedure that one must follow if they feel aggrieved, if they feel that their rights were violated, if they feel that they've been assaulted? Is there a process that a suspect must follow if there is such a complaint of assault?
My lord, the suspect would be able to open a case, my lord, of assault.
Kuthiwa lana umsolo oqala nosibili kuthiwa bashawa and kwesinye isikhathi ke bathathwa bayiswa nasegaraji la ngase-Alberton. Kuthiwa lapho ke wena waphusha isitulo wasiphushela emuva lapho kwafika wacindezela umsolo wakhona ngesitulo. Kuthiwa usergeant wathatha uplastic wawufaka phezu kwekhanda lakhe, nasenisuka ke nendaweni yase la khona la kudapha khona izinto and la kukhona khona izinsimbi, nafika nama kuthiwa wena wakhipha umsolo emotweni wasumbophela, wakhipha oyeduza nkosi wasumbophela kulezo izinsimbi. Kuthiwa wasekhona bona umshini wasetshenziswa ke ukuthi bawuthintise la esiswini sakhe, and kuthiwa futhi ke wathi makususwa uplastic ekhanda lakhe kwabonakala ukuthi wapha igazi ngamakhala. Kuthiwa nasuka ke naseniya Christian Baragwanas lapho naphinde nasuka naye Orlando, la ufika khona lathola khona la kunama ATM khona angasasebenzi. Kuthiwa wena kwawuphelezela ngaleso sikhathi. Kuthiwa ke umsola uthi wathelwa ngamanzi abandayo kuyisebusuku. Manje ke kuko konke ke lokho wabuza ukuthi uyakwazi yini ukuthi yiphi indlela ukuthi umuntu akwazi ukufaka isikhalazo sakhe mayelana nokuthi ke amalungelo akhe awazange agcinwa, sithi cha hayi angavula icala.
And in fact, it was put to you that the accused was traumatized by this incident. Are you aware if such a charge was laid against you?
Kuthiwa umsola ke uthi wahlukumezeka ngaso lezo ikhathi. Uyazi yini ukuthi khona icala lokuhlukumeza lafakwa?
No, my lord.
Cha.
Did the accused perhaps file any complaint with your employers, Ekurhuleni Metro?
Khona isikhala enasifaka umsola emetro emaphoyiseni?
Not that I'm aware of, my lord.
Cha, anginalo lolu lwazi.
You mentioned that you were the first to arrive during cross-examination by counsel for accused number 1 and 2. You mentioned that you were the first to arrive at Moroka police station at about 6:30 in the morning.
Bekele ukuthi kwabo wena waqala wafika eMoroka police station ngo-6 not yet.
And more or less, when did Sergeant Mukhane arrive with accused number 2?
Sergeant Mukhane wafika ninike nomsolo sibili.
Did they find you there, or what was the position?
Bakuthola lapho noma kokwenzekani?
I found him there, my lord.
Ngamthola lapho.
And was Sergeant Mukhane alone, or was he with someone else?
Sergeant Mukhane wayedwa yini noma enomunye umuntu?
At the vehicle he was alone, my lord.
Hayi emotweni wayedwa.
I'm not sure if he was alone on the day.
Angazi ukuthi wayedwa yini ngalelo langa.
Thank you, madam. Those are the only aspects we wanted to take up with you.
Sir, your experience as a police person is for how long?
Neminyaka engaki ke usebenzela isiphoyisa?
by tomorrow, my lord, it will be 9 years, my lord.
9 years.
athi kusasa kuzobe sekuphela iminyaka eyisishiyagalolunye.
Let me tell you what has happened with the police. After Steve Biko was murdered, right? The South African police introduced a method whereby police who were manning cells would fill in an OB, as you have been put to you, an occurrence register book. In the afternoon, when the sergeant comes, he asks everybody in the cell, any complaints? One person may say, they didn't give me food. One may say, Ratamokwateng assaulted me. And somebody else may say, whatever. Are you aware of that practice?
Yes, my lord.
Right.
Ake ngikube kwathuleleke nansi into eyake yenzeka. Kuthiwa ngesikhathi-ke emva kokuthi kushawe uSteve Biko, amaphoyisa-ke aletha le ndlela yokusebenza ukuthi amaphoyisa-ke ayithi uma kunabasolwa abasemaseleni kwakubhalwa lapha kule nto ekuthiwa i-OB, occurrence book, kusho ukuthi ila kubhalwa khona izinto ezenzeka. Manje layo efika usayitsheni efika ntambama asifike azobuza abasolwa athi-ke kukhona yena onesikhalazo, omunye ngathi-ke hayi cha abasinika ukudla, omunye athi hayi uRathamkhwahle ngungishayile.
Right, and the other aspect of that police sergeant who is in charge of the cells, when he comes in, he writes down every complaint from each and every of the cellmates. Are you aware of it?
Yes, my lord.
Right.
Ndokuthi usayitshenge lapho uRatha ubhala zonke izikhalazo zabasolwa abangaphakathi. Wathi uyawazi lokho? Wathi yebo ngiyawazi.
And pertinently, if he sees, he physically inspects the inmates. That's why when a person is booked in, some of these entries, they say, booked in by Sergeant Mokhado without injuries. He just doesn't write without injuries. He inspects the inmate in the presence of Mokhano who is booking him in. And if there's an injury there, he's obliged to report it. Are you aware of that practice?
That's correct, my lord.
Athi-ke uma kuwukuthi-ke kukhona-ke ochazayo uma ezobhala lapha usayitsheni uyabhala ukuthi uma kulethwa abasolwa lapho bafakwe lapho bengalimele, and uma kuwukuthi kukhona-ke olimeleke kufanele kusho ukuthi no, uma ukuthi balethwe usayitsheni othize bavele bathi ukuthi lo sayitsheni ulethe labantu laba bengalimele, wathi uyakwazi lokho? Athi yena.
In the morning, it's a new shift normally. A new sergeant or cell officer comes in. Each and every cell, he conducts what is called a parade. Do you know that?
That's correct, my lord.
Wathi-ke kuseni-ke uma kungena usayitsheni omusha ufanele-ke ahambe-ke ayohlola lokhu kubizwa ngeparade kulo wonke amasele. Wathi yena.
He's got a register, OB, and he asks each and every inmate. During the time, assuming the last inspection was at 8 o'clock the previous night, during the time 8 o'clock up to today, now, do you have any complaints? Are you aware of that practice?
Yes, my lord. They also refer to it as a handing over, my lord.
Yes.
Wathi-ke ekuseni uma kungena omusha usayitsheni ufayithatha le OB incwadi le OB ahambe kuwo wonke amasele. Athi-ke ukusukisela ngo-8 wayizolo uma kuwukuthi ibhalwe ngo-8 ngayizolo, athi kukhona yini oshintsho vele khona yini onesikhalazo, bafanele kube nempendulo lapho bese iyabhala phansi. Uthi uyakwazi lento? Athi yebo ngiyakwazi. Manje sekujwayele ukubizwa ngokuthi i-hand over.
If during that period, Ratamokwateng says, I'm sick, I was vomiting, the sergeant at arms there is obliged to make provision for medical attention. Are you aware of it?
Yes, my lord.
Athi kuma ukuthi-ke uRathamkhwahlenge uthi lapho-ke ngiyagula futhi ke ngiyaphalaza ngiyahlanza kufanele ukuthi bakwazi ukumenzela indlela ukuthi athole usizo.
And that, okay. Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay. And that surgeon or officer has to annotate that complaint that I'm sick, I'm vomiting, arrange for an ambulance, arrange for the transportation of the inmate to a hospital. Do you know that?
Yes, my lord.
Athe lo sergeant lo kumethola ukuthi kukhona isikhalazo esikhona ufanele abhale phansi ene futhi ke esebhalile uchaza ukuthi khona le nto ufanele azame ukuthola iambulance athole into engathatha lo lesisigulane isise esibhedlela wathi yebo ngiyakwazi.
And there are standing orders. If an inmate has been assaulted, more especially if that inmate can say he was assaulted by policeman Ratam Kwatlin, the sergeant at the cells there has got to annotate that complaint, and he doesn't have to take that man to court or to hospital. He's going to call his superior to come and see that exigency. Cronje van Dijk, do you know that?
Not in depth, my lord.
But have you heard about it?
No, my lord.
You have never heard of a policeman being charged for having assaulted an inmate in the cells?
I mean the process
Okay,
up to
yeah.
that extent, my lord.
Yeah, fine. I appreciate that. But have you ever heard of a policeman being charged
Yes, my lord.
of having assaulted an inmate in the cells?
Yes, my lord.
Yeah. Okay.
Uma ke kukhona umsolwa oshayiwe iphoyisa lelo kuthiwe ngishayile liphoyisa ukuthiwa Ratam Kwatlin kufanele kubhalwe lapho ukuthi cha ushayiwe nangu uyakhalaza futhi ke lokho ke akuyiswe enkantolo iphoyisa lelo kufanele liphakamisele kobaphethe umkhuzi wabo achaza ukuthi hayi ngishayiwe wathi uyakwazi lokho athi akona angakaze ngikubona kodwa angikwazi.
Do you have any experience with the IPD?
With iPad, my lord.
iPad, yeah.
No, my lord.
You don't, okay. I'll leave it for Sergeant Mukhano, maybe he has.
Athi wakathinta naye nalamaphoyisa wakasebenzisana namaphoyisa e-IPD usho ukuthi laba abahlala okwenziwe izona ezenziwe ngamaphoyisa mhlambe amacala enziwe ngamaphoyisa athi yeah.
But regarding the fact that you are alleged and accused of having viciously assaulted accused number 1 and 2, I take it, when they were being escorted, and that you participated actually in the mass assault of both of them in the presence, they were assaulted in your presence by other inmates. There was Geninda, there was Raputi, and there was Mapumulo, there was Butelezi, yourself. Up to now, has IPID never investigated you, or have they investigated you?
No, my lord.
Manje kuthiwa lana ke wena ke kuthiwa wena uke wafaka isandla ekushayeni abasolwa kubikwa no Gininda no Raputi no Maphumulo no Buthelezi. Manje ke abantu be-IT bayeke beze bazokuhlola lo wathi cha.
And you just answered Mr. Baloyi, and you maintain that no criminal charges of assault, GBH, attempted murder were preferred against you because, according to the evidence led, that's an assertion on behalf of the 2 accused, there's a suggestion that Rapuri actually asked, is he still alive? Meaning that a senior guy like him saying that it means somebody was so viciously assaulted that it was possible that Ehan Frek is going to die. Are you with me? Are you still alive? Is he still alive? And no charges have been preferred against you? Nothing?
None at all.
Manje kuthiwa khona la liphoyisa lo Raputi eliphezulu impela nje elake lafika labuza lo mbuzo uthi kanti lo muntu usaphila yini na? uthi ukuthi lo muntu lo ayishayo ngempela ukuthi aze ukuza lo mbuzo futhi nje akukho icala elavula athi cha.
Okay, any questions arising? Mr. Ngomezulu?
May I quickly approach accused number 2?
Okay, fine.
From the questions that are arising from the court, it's my instruction from accused number 2, the special accused number 2, to say, he said it in Zulu. I'll say it and interpret it to mean icala alboli. Crime does not prescribe. Do you know that?
Nje umsolo wesibili uPaul nakho owathi icala aliboli. Yakwazi lo.
Just say that again, my lord.
Icala alboli, meaning he can open a criminal case at any given stage. Do you know that?
That's. Oh, I can confirm, my lord.
Athi hayi no uthi sengalivula icala ngoba akwenze ukuthi icala libone. Athi yebo.
Another question relating to the first question asked by the court. Have you detained a person or a suspect in any police office, police station?
Yes, I have, my lord.
Kwakwabalela isibosha police station nanoma iphathi yebo.
Have you gained access to the cells where the prisoners or the suspects are kept?
Okwafinya yini emaselini laba sola bebekwa khona begcinwa khona?
No, my lord.
Athi cha.
Have you ever, in your 9 years experience, interviewed any inmate that is already in prison or kept in custody?
Manje kule minyaka eyishagalolunye usesiphoyiseni wakwaya uyini wayokhulumisana nesibosha esiboshiwe singaphakathi?
No, my lord.
Athi cha.
All right. Have you, during the time of detaining a particular suspect, have you had any complaint directed to the person in charge of the cells to say one of the inmates is complaining of being assaulted by a police officer or the person in charge of the cells? Have you ever heard about that?
Wakwakuzwa yini lapho kuthiwa khona isiboshwa sakhipha isikhalazo sathi sishaywe silinyeziwe? Wakwakuzwa yini lo?
No, my lord.
Cha.
And all this, the version that has been put by accused number 1 and number 2 against you in person in a plural form, your answer cannot be fair because those allegations are directed to you. This means if you were asked by my colleague in the court to say, have you assaulted them? We expected the answer no.
Sure.
Would you be in a position to say, yes, I did assault them?
Manje into esingazathi masibheka sibona ukuthi uma kuthiwa wena ubuzwa ukuthi umsola uthi wamhlumeza wamshaya, impendulo vele ke singayilindela lapho ukuthi wena uthi cha. Kodwa ke uma kuukuthi ke kuyenzeka yini ukuthi wena usho, kungenzeka yini ukuthi usho ukuthi yebo kulombuzo njengalo?
Thank you. No further question.
Yes, Mr. Munisi.
My lord, I've got no question that I can.
Mr. Ngamalo.
Thank you, my lord, I have no questions.
Mr. Mshololo.
Mr. Jonathan, have you ever been in charge of the cells wherein inmates are kept at the police station?
Ake waba nemsebenzi wokubheka isela abasola begcina khona police station.
No, my lord.
Cha.
Okay. Have you ever been involved in the registering and completion of the occurrence books at the police stations?
Wena waba banini nemsebenzi ukuthi ugcwalise i-occurrence book yase police station.
No, my lord.
Cha.
And in all your previous experience of 9 years, you have never worked in the CSC where the inmates are controlled if they are in custody of the SAPS.
Shudekile minyaka yakho akaze nje usenze nabasola uma ukuthi babhadiswe ngaphansi kwe-CSC.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kunjani?
Even if there would have been any other complaints that are made at the CSC, you wouldn't know how they will be reported.
Shuthi uma kukhona nesikhalazo esingabe sifakwa lapha e-CSC ngeke wazi ukuthi sifaka kanjani, akunjani?
No, my lord.
Thank you, but I have no further questions.
Yeah, just that's a matter which this court can take judicial notoriety or judicial occurrence thereof. Of course, have you ever heard in South Africa that a prisoner was killed in the cells? Have you ever heard that?
Wakwezwa yini kuthiwa khona isiboshwa esabulawa emaseleni? Awukuzwa lokho?
Yes, my lord, I have.
Athi yebo ngake ngakuzwa.
Any questions, Ryan?
No.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my lord.
You're excused.
As the court pleases, my lord, the state calls the next witness. The witnesses' names are Yule, Y-U-L, Yule. Y-U-L, Yule.
Yul, Raina.
Then the other name is Craig, C-R-A-I-G. Craig. And the surname is Lissering, is L-I-E-S-E-R-I-N-G. Lissering. The witness is going to testify in respect of Exhibit JJ.
Exhibit JJ.
Yes. He's not on the witness list, my lord.
Okay, fine. Yes, sir, the witness in.
Please say your names and your surname.
Yul Craig Lissering.
Do you have an objection to taking the prescribed oath?
No.
Do you feel that the prescribed oath is binding on your conscience?
No.
If what you're going to say before this court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, please raise your hand and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
So son, my lord.
So is it correct that you are a constable in the service of Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department?
That's correct, my
Athi
lord.
iqiniso yini ukuthi constable esiphoyiseni sasekurhuleni wathi yebo?
Is it correct that you joined Ekurhuleni Metro on 1 January 2008?
That's correct, my lord.
Iqiniso yini ukuthi wajona ekurhuleni ngalelo ngabalibekile wathi yebo?
Is it correct that at some point there was a unit in the Ekurhuleni Metro known as SWAT?
That is correct, my lord.
Bathi kwayiqiniso yini ngaphansi kwesiphoyisa sasekurhuleni kwakukhona iqembu elalibizwa ngokuthi SWAT wathi yebo?
What did that acronym stand for?
special weapons and tactics.
Manje ke lena ke iswathi leli limele ukuthi special weapons and tactics.
Were you at some point attached to this unit, SWAT?
Manje wena wakalisebenzela
Yes, I
leli
was.
qembu wathi yebo.
For which period?
Isikhathi singani siphi?
From 2008 November till the 30th of June 2022.
Athi ngaqala November 2008 ngaya ngomhla 30 ku June 2022.
Does this unit still exist?
Leli qembu
No.
sakhona athi cha.
Yes, what happened to the unit?
It was disbanded on the 30th of June 2022.
Ayahlukanisa ke leli qembu ngomhla 30 ku June 2022.
Now, on the 24th of June 2020, were you on duty?
Yes, I was.
Ngomhla 24 ku June 2020 wasesezini wathi yebo.
Do you know the previous witness, Constable Jonathan?
Yes.
Lo fakazi obekhona la usanda kuphuma kuthiwa uConstable Jonathan yamazi wathi yebo.
Is it correct that he is your colleague?
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi
correct.
sebenza ndawonye yathi yebo.
Can you tell the court in your own words what happened on the 24th of June 2020 regarding this matter?
Ngitshela inkantolo ngamakho amazwi ukuthi kwenzekani ke ngomhla 24 ku June 2020.
On the 24th of June 2020, I was on duty. I started working at 10 o'clock
Ngomhla 24 ku June 2020 ngayisemsebenzini ngaqala ngo10
in the morning,
wasekuseni
and my off-duty time was 10 o'clock in the evening. So I worked a 12-hour shift.
futhi ngasebenza ke ishift yamahora ayishumi nambili ngoba ngangifale ngiqale ngo10 ekuseni ngize ngiyoshayisa ngo10 wasebusuku.
I was a crew on that motor vehicle, Bravo Zulu 35, Mike Charlie, Golf Papa. It's a white Audi.
Bravo
And-
Zulu 35
Mike Charlie, Golf Papa. And Mr. Jonathan was the driver of the motor vehicle.
Manje ngihamba le moto kwaku BZ35 MC GP lapho ke Constable Jonathan wayemshayeli wale moto.
We were tasked to assist Sergeant Mohane in Pretoria at Moat SAPS.
Manje sasithola umsebenzi ukuthi siyasiza uSergeant Mukhane wasePretoria eMoat SAPS.
We arrived approximately 1 o'clock in Pretoria at Moat SAPS.
Safika ngo1 eMoat SAPS.
On our arrival at Moat SAPS, we found Sergeant Mohane
Manje sathi masifika lapha eSAPS sathola ke uSergeant Mukhane.
in the car park.
Wayese la kwa khona imoto.
He informed us that we
Yes, he made a report to you.
Yes.
What happened?
Yes, he informed us that we will be assisting him to escort a suspect to Boksburg Magistrate Court.
Wasitshela ukuthi sizobe simsiza ngokuthi aphelezele umsolwa amise eBoksburg enkantolo kaManje.
As indicated, my lord, the state will be calling Sergeant Mukhan.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
After Sergeant Mohane have briefed us, he went inside the CSC to fetch the suspect.
Emva kokuthi asitshele uSergeant Mukhane ukuthi uzokwenzani wayesengena ngaphakathi eSC eyolanda umsolwa.
He then returned after a few minutes to the car park where we were waiting.
Emva umzuzunyana waseyabuya kule esasipake khona imoto simlindile.
And he was walking with the accused that is in front of court, number 2.
Wayehamba nomsolwa lapha phambi kwenkantolo umsolwa sibili.
The accused's hands was handcuffed in front.
Izandla ke zikamboshwa zasifakwe ozankosi zingaphambi komzimba.
Sergeant Mohane placed the suspect in his motor vehicle.
Sergeant Mkhana waseke beka ke umsolwa emotweni yakhe.
And he informed us that he is ready to proceed to Boksburg Court.
Wasesitshela ukuthi selungele ukuthi angathatha lolu hambo lukuya eBoksburg emahhovisini emanje.
We proceeded to Boksburg Court immediately.
Sasiyasuka ke silibangise eBoksburg.
And on our arrival at Boksburg,
Sathi uma sifika eBoksburg
we used the entrance where they normally take the suspects in, because there's a entrance at the back of Boksburg Court.
sabe sisebenzisa le ndawo engena khona iziboshwa engasemuva.
Sergeant Mohane took the suspect out of the vehicle,
Sergeant Mkhana wasekhipha umsolwa emotweni
and we escorted them inside the court, Boksburg Court.
manje ke sisibaphelezela ukuthi bayongena enkantolo yaseBoksburg.
We proceeded to room 2
So
at
this is-
Boksburg Court.
So sisiyaqhubeka siya egumbini ekuthiwa uroom 2 laseBoksburg Court.
On our arrival at room 2, there was a white female.
Masifika lapho kulelo gumbi lelo uroom 2 kwekunomuntu wesifazane omhlophe.
Actually, as we were walking down the passage, she came down from the opposite direction.
Ushuthi yena sathi masehla ngepassage naye wayehla ngepassage.
And we met each other in the passage in front of room 2.
Sahlangana naye kulelo passage lelo phambi komnyango wase room 2.
I found out afterwards from Sergeant Mohane that it was the magistrate, Mrs. Cronje.
Ngezwe kamumva ngitshela umkhana ukuthi loyo ke kwakuyimantshi uMrs Cronje.
And she asked us, is it necessary for us, why were we so many officers escorting the person that we brought to our office? And
Was
she had also requested our appointment cards.
Wasibuza ukuthi kunesidingo yini sokuthi sibe baningi kangaka abaphelezela umsolwa. Sisibuza ke futhi ke nalamakhadi asetshenziswayo omazisi abasemsebenzini.
Myself and Constable Jonathan handed over our appointment cards to Sergeant Mohane.
Mina ke no Sergeant Jonathan samnika ke uSergeant Mkhane amakhadi ethu.
And after we handed over our appointment certificates, we went outside.
Emva ukuthi ke simnike certificates zokuqasha sasiphumela ngaphandle.
But in the passage also, before we left, we also noticed a person in a suit.
Manje sathi siselapho saqaphela ukuthi kukhona indoda egqoke isuit.
And
Where did you notice this person in a suit?
we were standing in front of the magistrate's office, in front of room number 2.
Manje saqaphela le ndoda ngoba ime phambi kwe-office lemantshi lelo gumbi lesibili.
And it was also made known to us by Sergeant Mohane that it was the attorney of
It's fine, Sergeant Mukhan will testify about that, but do you personally know who that person was?
Wena
No.
wawazi yini ukuthi ubani lo wathi cha angimazi?
Yes, you may proceed.
Sorry,
Yeah, sorry, you may proceed.
okay, after that we left the court building and we went outside to the car park and waited.
Sase siphuma ke kuleso sakhiwo senkantolo saya ngaphandle siyolinda khona.
They were busy for about approximately a period of 3 hours.
Hayi babe matasa ke lapho ngaphakathi isikhathi singalinganisa amahora amathathu.
And after that, we were called around about 6 o'clock by Sergeant Mohane
emva kwalokho-ke sasesibizwa uSergeant Mkhane isikhathi kwakuyikhathi zo-6
and he informed us that he is ready to leave, we must come and assist.
wayesesichazela ukuthi uselungele ukuthi angahamba sesingeza sizomsiza.
We went inside and escort Sergeant Mokane and the suspect to the motor vehicles that was parked at the back entrance.
Sasesingena ngaphakathi sizopheleza uSergeant Mkhane nomsolwa simisa kulezi moto ezazibhakwe ngemuva.
And then Sergeant Mokane placed the suspect in the same vehicle that they transported him to Boksburg Magistrate's Court.
Manje uSergeant Mkhane wayesefaka umsolwa kule moto ababeyisebenzisa uma iletha umsolwa eBoksburg Court.
Once the suspect was secured in the motor vehicle, we then proceeded to Moot SAPS in Pretoria.
Awutheke segcinwe kahle emotweni umsolwa sasihamba esiya ePretoria eMoat Police Station.
On arrival at Moot SAPS, Sergeant Mokane took the suspect out of the vehicle and booked him back at the CSC.
Sesifikile ke moto uSergeant Mkhane wayemkhipha umsolwa emotweni wayesembhalisa ngaphakathi eCSC.
When he was done with it, he came back and he thanked us for assisting him.
Esekwenzileke lokho waphumela ngaphandle weza wazosibonga.
And we all dispersed from Moot SAPS.
Saseke siyahamba suka ke lapho siyahamba eMoat SAPS.
Now, you mentioned that you handed your appointment certificate to Sergeant Mokane. Do you know what the purpose thereof was?
He made a photocopy because the magistrate requested photocopies of our appointment certificates.
Manje uthe wena benifanele uSergeant Mkhane certificate zenu zokuqashwa yebo ukuthi bayifuna ukuthi bayokwenza amakhophi alezo certificate bese zinikwa eMantshini.
I just want to show you an attachment which was marked B to Exhibit JJ. Can you just identify this document?
This is my appointment certificate, my lord.
Hayi lokho ke sona certificate sami sokuqala.
Now, did you notice any injuries on this suspect that you identified as accused number 2?
No, I didn't notice any visible injuries.
Ekubhekeni umsolwa wesibili wabona yini lapho ayelimele khona athi cha ngizange ngibone elimele ndawo.
Thank you, Madam. This one.
Thank you, Mr. Zulu.
Mr. Lissaren, in relation to your evidence in court, you said upon your arrival at Boksburg Court, is it your evidence that you found the magistrate at that court? Or the magistrate found you in that court? What is your evidence?
First, bakho ke uthe namthola imantshi leyo enkantolo noma imantshi yathola nina enkantolo.
We found the magistrate in the passage on our way to our office.
Athi sahlangana nemantshi passagini sendleleni yokuya ehhovisi yakhe.
The evidence of the magistrate to testify was that when she arrived from Phosphorus, as she was requested by her senior magistrate, Mrs. Victorious, Mrs. Duplessis, upon her arrival at Boksburg Court, on the passage, she saw heavily armed Metro Police officers. That's her evidence. Do you agree that that evidence is contrary to what you are telling the court?
Manje kuthi-ke yena wasuke eFort Lawrence waye-Boksburg ethunyelwe imanager yakhe uMrs Du Plessis. Wathi-ke uma esefika-ke lapha eBoksburg wahlangana nethimba lamaphoyisa elalihlome kakhulu.
As have testified that when we walked down the passage, she was coming in the opposite direction.
Njengoba sengishilo-ke sathi masehla ngephasage sahlangana naye ezakuthini.
So that means what the magistrate or Mrs. Cronje told the court that she found you in the passage was not true.
As a court, please, my lord. I don't know whether it's competent for this witness to give an opinion on the evidence.
That Mrs. Cronje was the one who was speaking the truth. Are you with me, sir?
My lord, may I rephrase it to say, let me get back to the question that I asked you. What you told the court now, as per the evidence that Mrs. Cronje told the court that she found you on the passage. That means upon her arrival, she found you on the passage. And your evidence, you say you saw Mrs. Cronje or the white lady on the passage. Do you agree that those two testimonies are not the same?
Uyezwa yini ukuthi uMrs. Cronje wathi wanithola nisephasejini nani-ke nithi nahlangana naye ephasejini. Yabona ukuthi lezo zinto ezimbili ziyehluka.
That's your version, my lord. I was not here when Mrs. Cronje testified, so I cannot dispute or any.
Ngingekho uMrs. Cronje letha ubufakazi angeke ngikwazi ukuphikisa ubufakazi bakhe.
When I heard your testimony, you said after you entered the building of the court, at the back of the court, then Sergeant Mokgano took the suspect and you followed and you entered the court building.
Wena uma nifika lapha ecourt nafika ngapha ngemuva Sergeant Mokgano sethatha umsolo angena naye esakhiweni leso senkantolo.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kunjalo.
Then you proceeded to room 2.
That's correct, my lord. Room 2 wathi yebo kunjalo.
What were you going to do at room 2?
Nani wenza room 2?
I did not have any idea what we're going to do there because I was just requested to escort Sergeant Mokgano.
Ngangakwazi ukuyokwenziwa lapha room 2 ngoba mina ngangiphelezele nje uSergeant Mokgano.
All right. Who informed you that you must go to room 2?
Bana uthi room 2.
Sergeant Mokgano lead us to room 2.
Sergeant Mokgano uyena wasikholela room 2.
Okay. Have you, on the passage, did you ever discuss or talk to the white lady whom you later known as the magistrate? Have you had a discussion with her? You personally?
Nakwazi uba nengxoxo nalo umuntu osifazana owagcina uthula ulwazi lokuthi uMagistrate Cronje.
Yes, I did. When she requested my appointment certificate, then I asked her why does she request it, and she explained to me why does she need my appointment certificate.
Yeah,
and I complied with a request to hand over my appointment certificate.
No, sathi ukukhulumisana ngoba wasicela lo incwajana zokuqashwa kwethu saseke simbuza ukuthi uzidingelani wayesechaza ukuthi uzidingelani sesimnika lezo ncwajana.
There's evidence that you were heavily armed. I just want to know, were you in full uniform as well?
Yes, I was in full uniform.
Kuthiwa ngalelo langa yena nihlome kakhulu nanigqoke wonke yini i-uniform yasemsebenzini wathi yebo.
Were you in possession of firearms?
Yes, I was, my lord.
Naniphethe izikhali eziyizibhamu wathi yebo.
How many
2 firearms.
Uthi hayi ngangiphethe ibhamu ezimbili
per person?
That's correct, my lord.
ngamunye umuntu wathi yebo.
Was she ever, or did she ever remarked as to whether she was intimidated by your presence or not?
Waphawula yini ukuthi mhlambe khona ukuzizwela ukuthi uyethuswa ile ndlela elaningi ngayo?
I cannot comment on whether she commented if she was intimidated, but she just asked us why were we so heavily armed.
Angeke ngiphawule ukuthi yini indaba noma wayezizwa kunokumsabisa okukhona and kodwa ke mina ngikhumbulayo ukuthi wasibuza ukuthi yini indaba sihlome kangaka.
What was your response then? From the question, why are you so heavily armed?
Wena
What was your
namphendulana
response?
thini?
Well, firearms is part of our uniform.
Indlela esigqoka ngayo sifanele sibe ngayo emsebenzini sifanele siphathe nekhaya.
Was it the answer given to her?
Iyona
Yes.
impendulo enikwa yena wathi yebo.
All right. Did she ask the reason? Did she mention the reason why she wanted your appointment certificate?
Wangichazela yini ukuthi yini indaba edinga lezi ncwajana zami zokuqashwa?
She explained that she is the person that is going to interview the suspect, and therefore she needs our details because we are the ones that brought the suspect to Boksburg Magistrate Court.
Wangichaza ukuthi yena-ke uyena kwayokhuluma nomsolwa manje ayidinga imininingwane yethu njengabantu abalethe umsolwa eBoksburg Magistrate.
Your details means the appointment certificate of all the officers that were present at that time on that passage.
Manje uma ukhuluma ngemininingwane usho ukuthi imininingwane yawo wonke lamaphoyisa ahlangana nawo esephasejini.
I can only comment on myself and not on the other officers that was in the passage.
Ngingaphawula ngami kuphela ngeke ngikwazi ukuphawulela laba abanye amaphoyisa.
All right. But you cannot tell the court as to why other officers did not give their particulars to the magistrate.
Manje awukwazi ukuchaza ukuthi yini indaba amanye amaphoyisa engakwazanga ukunika imininingwane yawo kule manje.
I cannot answer on their behalf. They are the ones that has to come and account for as to why they didn't comply with the instruction.
Angeke ngikwazi baphendula ibona abafanele bazosiphendula ukuthi yini indaba bengakwazanga ukwenza njengoba beyalelwa manje.
When you traveled to Pretoria Mort to escort Sergeant Mkhano and the suspect from Pretoria, how long did it take you to travel from Pretoria Mort to Boksburg Court?
Kwanthatha isikhathi engakanani ke ukusuka eMort ePretoria kuyofika eBoksburg?
More or
Well,
less.
it's a trip that is approximately about 45 minutes. It all depends also on the traffic.
Hayi ukuthi lolo hambo lungathatha ama-minute amashumi amane nanhlanu. Futhi ke lokho futhi kuncike ekutheni izimoto zingakanani emgwaqweni.
All right. The man you saw also on the passage was wearing a suit. What color of the suit was it?
Manje le ndoda naye ithola igqoke isuti lapha ephasejini yayigqoke isuti enombala onjani?
It was a dark color suit. I cannot recall the exact. Remember that it was black. It's 3 years back.
Yayigqoke imbala engathi ihambelana nomnyama nobulu. Angisakhumbula ukuthi kahle kahle kwakuwumbala onjani.
So you can you tell the court what accused number 2 was wearing on the day?
Akwazi yini ukusho ukuthi umsolo wesibili wayigqokeni ngalelo langa?
I can recall that he was wearing a bluish type of jeans
Sakhumbula ukuthi wayengathi wayigqoke ibhokati engathi blue luhlaza besibhakabhaka.
and a long sleeve shirt
Athi wayegqoke nehembe elinomkhono
or
emide.
t-shirt.
Any jacket?
Ibhantshi lona?
I can't remember, but it can be possible that he was having because it was June, it was cold.
Athi hayi angisakwazi ukukhumbula kodwa ngenzeka ukuthi waligqokile ngoba kwakuJune futhi kwakubanda.
Yes. That man with the suit, it was the first time to see him that day.
Kwakuqala yini ubona lo yande ugqoke isuti ngalelo langa?
That is correct.
Kunjani?
The accused person was not the first time to see him that day, correct?
It was-
ongena ukuqala embona unjalo.
It was my first time seeing the accused there.
Kwakuqala mina ngibona umsolo speak.
Okay. The evidence of Mr. Jonathan is to the effect that beside the version of the accused, the evidence of Mr. Jonathan is to the effect that he was with you when he was called for an escort to Moroka police station.
Ngoba uJonathan walethu ufakazi ukuthi wayenawe ngesikhathi licela ukuthi nizophelezela nisuka esikhundleni samaphoyisa saseMorocco.
The cookies were not.
We don't remember Constable Jonathan testifying to the defect.
May I take a break, my lord? Can you take a break so that I can consult my notes?
Yeah, I also
I-
recall the evidence.
I'm sure that
And you say Listerin was
Yes.
also at Morocco.
yes, he was in company of his crew member,
At
the
Morocco.
colored guy,
At Morocco police station.
to Moroka police station.
Okay. 15 minutes, May.
Check our notes.